All right, guys. Just wanted to come in here and do a Shootin' the Breeze week 2. Obviously it's going to be heavy into the NBA regarding the playoffs and how things have shaken out thus far. An incredible game last night between the Knicks and the Sixers. I think Tyrese Maxey really showed what a superstar he really has the potential to be. And I think it showed that they made the right move in keeping him instead of Harden. I think one of the big things that came out of that is Embiid now has a true running mate that he can rely on in clutch situations in the playoffs. He hadn't had that with Harden. That was a very inconsistent pairing. But I think now that he has Tyrese Maxey, and you were able to see what he was able to do in the fourth quarter and overtime last night and throughout the game, really, I think that showed that Embiid has a lot of the help he needs, and then who knows what they'll add in the offseason, because I don't see this team winning a title. But I think it was a big night for Maxey, and the Knicks need to be careful now. It's going back to Philly, and Philly's going to have the momentum, and they're going to have a chance to tie this series up and potentially send it back to New York for Game 7. Last time that Philly was hosting the Knicks, it seemed to be a pro-New York crowd. I saw that ownership for Philly has already given away 2,000 tickets to try to prevent that from happening again. So I expect it to be a lot more hostile crowd to New York tomorrow night. But tonight the Celtics will take on Miami to try to knock off the Heat in 5 games. This is much needed. They need to knock them off tonight with Porzingis being out for a while. Give them some time to rest while Cleveland and Orlando keep battling it out, as the Celtics will host whoever wins that series. I think I'm pretty confident the Celtics should take out Miami tonight. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is not playing for Miami tonight. And I think also the Celtics are just better. Without Butler playing, without Rozier playing, there's not a lot of scoring from Miami. And I just don't think Hero's that guy that can carry a load every night. That's why they were trying to move him in that trade for Dame. Speaking of Dame, I think the Bucks showed a lot last night, having no Dame and having no Giannis. They get back to 3-2 in Indiana. I think that if they're able to get either Dame or Giannis back, I think the Bucks are going to come back and win this series. I really do. If they are unable to get at least one of them back, I think this series is over in 6. But either way, I don't see the Bucks making it much further than the second round, maybe the conference finals. But even that, I don't know that they'll get past the Knicks if the Knicks move on. Philly, I think they could beat. But, I think that this team really is, I think they're regretting that trade for Lillard in that, not that the player they got, but I just think that it's to the point now where Lillard's going to start racking up injuries and it's going to become a problem, and it's going to be kind of hard for them to build around him and Giannis moving forward. So, I think the Celtics made out well in getting Drew Holiday, and it really helped put them over the top with he and Porzingis being added to that group. I think that makes the Celtics the top roster in the East by far. The Bucks don't really scare me. I think the Knicks would scare me more in a 7-game series than Milwaukee at this point. I know you guys will probably give me a lot of grief over that, but that's where I would put that. In terms of where I see the West shaking out, the Clippers are playing Dallas tonight in Los Angeles. I actually like Dallas to win that one, and I'm actually going to go as far as to say Dallas is going to take the next 2, and they're going to win this series in 6. I just think that Luka and Kyrie are going to be too much in the end. I know that Luka was sort of down with his scoring efforts in the last game, and he said he felt that he was letting Kyrie Irving down. And I think Luka's going to come out really strong tonight, and I think Kyrie as well, and I think they're going to win this series in 6 games. I just think the Clippers are too old, and it's time to break that up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Paul George either go back to Indiana or potentially move over to Philadelphia in the offseason, because I don't think that where they gave Paul George an extension, Kawhi Leonard, they gave Kawhi an extension. I think it would be crazy to give Paul George a max extension. I know the Clippers are opening up a new arena, but you have Harden and you have Kawhi. That's 2 names. But you got to build for the future, and I think the Clippers are really hamstrung by the older talent that they have currently in place. So I think they need to start looking ahead to the future and see if they can build off that. In terms of who I see coming out of the West, I still think it's Denver. I think Denver's the team to beat. I think we went over that yesterday, so that's where I stand on that. Just real quickly, because I'm only going to do a little bit tonight, moving into where college football is, I see that there are going to potentially be some revenue sharing regarding the players in college football. How that'll work will be interesting, and how the NCAA sort of makes that, what the machinations of that will be very interesting to me in terms of how that involves the players and how much they get paid, and if these players actually become full-blown employees of the university they're attending. And then I think with the way things are going now, I think that you could be looking at scholarships really only being one-year deals moving forward with how the transfer portal is working and everything else like that now. With NIL, I really think that you're going to move towards one-year deals. Either that, or maybe schools can make it so you can sign a 1, 2, 3, 4-year deal, and you have to honor that without entering the portal. But I think that with where college football is heading, it's too much of a wild, wild west. I'm all for the transfer portal, but I think they need to put some guardrails on it so that the timeline is better, the scheduling is better for it. The way they do it at the end of the season during bowl season, it doesn't help bowl season whatsoever. And, I think we saw it this past year, but obviously with backups, but I think there's going to be a time where players start opting out in the playoffs. Even now with a 14-team playoff, I can see players opting out of playoff games for the draft going forward because they're going to care more about their draft stock. So I think that, with the way college football and college sports in general, college basketball is not far behind it. I think Olympic sports is not even a little, far less than that. But the women's game is creeping up now with the popularity of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all of those people that have left now and gone on to the WNBA. And I'm hoping to actually add some WNBA content when the season opens up this year, because I'm really intrigued to see what the viewership is like with those games and the quality of games. I know there's already some great players in the league as it is, but seeing some star power added to it, even more star power, that we're bringing killer ratings to the NCAA tournament and just NCAA women's games in general, I think it's going to be huge for the WNBA, and it's all about how they market the women moving forward. This is a golden opportunity for the league, and I think this is where the NBA can help, and not so much as sending them money or giving them more money, but so much as helping them with marketing. And I think that's something the NBA should and could help the WNBA with. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you going to be tuning into the WNBA this summer? And if so, who are you looking forward to watch? Even more so than Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, who are some other people that you're looking forward to seeing? There was a lot of talent that got drafted in the draft, Cameron Brink being one. That's someone I'm interested in seeing her with the Sparks. So it'll be very interesting to see how much interest that the WNBA has garnered. And I'm looking forward to seeing some games this year. But as far as college football, getting back to that, I just think that the way the sport is going, they're going to be full-blown employees soon. And then these power conferences are going to move out of the NCAA, and they're just going to form their own league. And they're going to need a commissioner, and it's going to be semi-pro football on obviously a lot grander scale. And it's just, I think that Greg Sankey and the Big Ten commissioner as well, they're already planning something. Obviously, it's not out there yet, but there's reports. You hear rumors and rumblings all over the place. And I think that it's just getting the networks to side with them and how to go about it so it makes sense. I think that the college football playoff is eventually going to move towards its own thing. It's not going to be so much the whole NCAA, and I think that the group of five will be its own subdivision, sort of like the FCS. I think the group of five is going to be something similar to that. You'll have a group of five national champion and then a Power 4 national champion, which I think is eventually going to move to a Power 2. I think the Big 12 and the ACC are going to die soon. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that, how you feel the restructuring is going to be. I personally would love to see them bring back regional conferences if they were to make a Super League. The Big East, the ACC, the SWC, the Big 8, the Big 10, the Pac-10, all these power conferences, if they were to return, I think that would be a really big thing. And I think it could make it a lot more fun and leagues more exciting. And then you move on to those national matchups in the playoffs. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. And then also, if you can, let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to talk about, whether it be in my shorts or JJ and his shorts. If you'd like to hear anything on these Shootin' the Breeze episodes on Wednesdays, it doesn't have to be just sports. We can talk movies, anything aside from politics and things like that. Sports and entertainment is what we're about. You can head over to JJ's other channel, Little Walshy Sports Takes. He does a lot of WWE and pro wrestling content on there. He's going to try to build that up as well. You can like us on Facebook at The Walsh Boys Show. You can follow me on Twitter at JohnWalsh38. We have our podcast, The Walsh Boys Show, on Spotify. Please subscribe to that and leave us a 5-star rating if you could. And I'm going to start putting out more print media on Substack and some other areas to try to build that up as well. So until then, thanks for tuning in tonight, guys, and enjoy the rest of the NBA playoffs. And we'll see you throughout the week here on YouTube, in the Facebook group, and elsewhere. Thanks, guys.